ISIS hates being called, despised so much, in fact, they've threatened to cut out the tongues of anyone who uses it. That name, Daesh. There's a big discussion on what to call the terror group. We say ISIS, others say ISIL. The State of the Islamic Caliphate is what they'd like to be called, Islamic State for short, but what they hate is Daesh. It's an acronym, and in Arabic it translates as the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant, the name they used before they declared their so-called caliphate last summer. But many Arabic speakers still just call them Daesh. So what do they hate about it? Some say it's because it sounds like other words, including das, which can mean, among other things, to stomp on something. Some ISIS supporters say they want the full name of their alleged state to be shared with the world. There's a push in the West to start calling them Daesh, to deny them the legitimacy Islamic State implies. France has already started doing that, and even some U.S. officials. So what about the other names we use in English? ISIS, the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, or another version, ISIL, the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant. But their name, the Islamic State, leaves geography out of the mix, since their ambitions aren't limited to a specific territory. But can anyone really call them an Islamic State? They hold land, which is one of the attributes of a state, and they have in some areas what amounts to a government. But they're not recognized internationally as a state, just a terror group, and there's no consensus on whether they're actually Islamic. To supporters, ISIS is the essence of Islam, and everyone else an infidel. A notion flatly rejected as absurd by countless Muslim scholars and believers around the world. ISIS fighters and supporters insist they follow the path of Allah, God, and that the West is hell-bent on battling Islam.
That's how they recruit. That's how they try to radicalize young people.